This is Tom Johnson at I'dRatherBeWriting.com. In this video, I'm going to show you a theme called Headway that uses something called a visual editor, which is really like design software so that you don't really have to know code in order to make like structural changes to your blog. It's really quite interesting. So let's say this is your blog. You've got 3 columns and you really don't like how it looks. You want to change a few things. Well, if you click Enter Visual Editor, you can suddenly start to make some of these structural changes. Now it takes a little bit to load each time, but once it does, you'll see that on the left you have some control panel type options. One of the things that it introduces here is this concept of leafs. So each of these blocks of content, here we have like a sidebar, here we have an about section, this is like a post or the latest posts. These are all called leafs in the Headway terminology. And you can edit all this stuff directly from this design panel. So let's say we wanted to have just 1 column or 2 columns, not 3. And we wanted to maybe move this up to the top and add a search bar, do some other things. So let's see what we can do here. Now I'm not that familiar with Headway, but I've been playing around with it. So let's expand the leafs, and we will choose to arrange leafs. So now we could actually move this whole component over here if we wanted. And we could move this over there. We could do whatever we want, really. In fact, let's add a new leaf. If we click Add here, we can see that we've got a lot of different options. Let's say we want to add a Twitter leaf. We add our Twitter leaf, and we'll drag it over here. And then each leaf has its own customization options, which you can click here by doing the pencil. I'll put my Twitter ID there, close it, save the changes, and every time you want to see the effect of what you've edited, you have to reload the visual editor. And it takes a few seconds to reload it as well. So now we kind of moved over this structural component to the right, but we've still got 3 columns. Let's reduce one of the columns and then widen that middle column, all through this little visual designer. So as soon as this finishes reloading, I'm not sure why that appeared. All right, let's go to Leafs and Columns, Columns. And here we have some new options down here. Let's change this to just a 2-column theme. And hopefully it won't delete the column that we want to keep, but we'll save these changes. We'll reload this guy, and I'll pause it while it's reloading. Okay, it finished reloading, and it flipped the sides of the sidebar to the other side. So we can easily change that. We'll open this up. We'll arrange the leaves. We'll move this over to this side. And we will... Did that go over? Didn't look like it went over. Okay, there we go. Move that over. And now we'll move this other one. Oh, I guess we had a Twitter and then a sidebar, so we'll move that over as well. And now we'll move our big content stuff over to this left. Okay. And now let's resize our columns. Actually, let's come over here to the columns part and do the column widths. So column 1 we want to be bigger, and column 2 smaller. So it automatically kind of adjusted that based on the width. There's a lot more options here. I'm just showing you kind of the idea of this thing. And we'll reload this, and I'll pause it while it's reloading. Okay, it finished reloading. Now let's see what else we can do. For the header, you could upload a header image directly here. You could also do a lot of things with the navigation. You could actually flip around. You could just drag this up, and you can show a navigation bar. You do a lot of stuff if you just play around in here. I don't want to get too in-depth because I want to keep this short. But Headway is a cool theme. If you don't want to get into the code, check it out. And if you want more WordPress tips, check out I'dRatherBeWriting.com.